Now I've duplicated my cloner. I've changed the tubes in that second cloner to be a little thinner, and I've changed the plane effector, the new plane effector, to scale them a little further. I'm going to do this entire process again, so I'm going to make another set of tubes that get scaled much further and are thinner again. So let's grab this second cloner I made, hold down Command, drag and drop it down in our list, so now we get another clone system. So the tube for this one, I'm going to make the inner radius 10 and the outer radius 28. And that will give us a little bit of a gap there between them. So there is the next set of clones in there. Now again, they need their own plane effector that scales them even further. So let's grab this plane effector here. I'm just going to select it. Then I'm going to Command, click and drag it. So I've duplicated it. This one, I really want these inside clones to really be stretched a long way out. So I'm going to change the scale value of this plane effector to maybe 5. And again, we just have to make sure the correct plane effector is working with the correct cloner. This is cloner outer 2. It needs to have plane effector 2 working on it. So select the cloner, have a look, it's in its effectors tab. We don't want that plane effector 1. That's the one up there that's supposed to be affecting that cloner. So let's just remove it from the list, and let's drag and drop the correct cloner into it. So now this cloner is being affected by this effector, this cloner by this effector, and this cloner by this effector. So now we've got all of these clones. They're just duplicate systems. They've got slightly different thicknesses of the tubes, and they've got slightly different scales for each one of these plane effectors. Now, to make sure that all of the plane effectors affect the number of, or the area of clones the same, I'm going to join these plane effectors together so that when I move them around, they're all moving together in unison. The easiest way to do that is just to parent them. So this original plane effector, that's going to be the main one that's in charge. Here's its field underneath. I'm going to grab this next plane effector and make it a child of that field. So we've got the original plane effector in its field, and then the second plane effector in its field, and I'll do the same again with this plane effector. So we've got this hierarchy of plane effectors and fields. That means they'll all move together. So if I select the top one, grab my move tool and move it around, now all of those plane effectors are all moving together, and they're all affecting their particular cloners all at the same time with their different parameters. So now we've got a really interesting system going on. We've got some really nice geometric abstract shapes, and it's a very simple thing to control and to animate. If you want to, you can go to each field. You could fine-tune the size of the control spheres around each one if you want to change exactly how these clones are scaled. But I'm pretty happy with how mine works. Just remember, when you want to animate or get these clones moving around, just select the top plane effector in the hierarchy, animate that, and now we've got this really interesting geometric shape that is quite organic and quite easy to animate.